I told you.
Spoken words.
Chapter 1, Spring 1971. Harold. Ard was in its beginning, rock opening its winter cracks to splay sorrel, thistles bulbous and ready to bleed, new grass and nettles creaking under heavy boots. If Harold could feel the rumble of spring, it rose out of the fells today, almost a stampede in it, he thought. Bright morning lifting the green so high it was luminous. He checked along the flanks towards Sale. Sheep were bedded in, suckling the fell like new moss. Down by the beck he turned west, Windus standing to his right in purple scree, knot rig boned and loyal to his left, crummet water ahead, not yet seen but felt like a promise. Once he found sheep huddled in that beck, the only time in the 20-odd years he'd been out with his father, the very part where most water flowed after hard summer rains. It puzzled his father when he came over the fell and saw them, white wool matted together in twos and threes, water pushing at their backs. He remembered his father's face, purple cheeks veined from the bite of high winds, brow no more lined with a frown than without. He said it was as if the sheep were made to be vulnerable, like a magnet they are to needing care. Will, one of his collies, was coming back at a good canter with Toby quietly behind. Harold whistled. Neither of the dogs looped back on itself to show him a find, so he kept walking through the folds of witless pike, bluebells soon to be spread as thick as bracken, dotterel song at his back, his father alongside him, though he'd been gone for a few years now. And there it was, crummet water, a swell to its edge, a silver offering before Mellbreak Valley on the other side, clouds over there often blaze-bellied, breaking for streaks across the twin peaks as if the heavens were in conversation. Night set through open grey into wine black and still no news. She hovered by the phone, wondering if she should call Clive or the neighbours to help look for Harold, and having done that, she seemed to panic more. After a while, Stephen came home to say he was off again, and a group had gathered to go through the fells with an ordered plan so they would know where they'd searched. People were so kind to be out looking again. She sat, focused on the fells as if her thoughts might touch him. The rest of the sheet needed to be cut into neat rags for cleaning, but one look at it felt wrong to use it like that. She left the door open, bread and cheese on the table, and walked out. A line stretched across the moon as she entered the garden, basket in hand. It was almost yellow, but shone pale white onto the grass. The strip of sheet she'd tied was stuck around the oak branch, and rather than hang up the other strip, something made her prise open the knots. And as soon as the strip was unwound, she was out of the garden and up the path, resting her basket on a boulder at the foot of the fell for a moment, a stony dark moth lifting from its sleep. And then, in a straight line, she climbed up the high slope, almost pulled, leaning into her steps. When she reached the old juniper, dark trunk bent into the night, she set to, tying each piece to the 3 branches, so that the sheets hung like a tabernacle catching the rain, their white bowed under the dark clouds as sky beneath sky, stains of rust from the occasional branch. She wondered where Harold was, feeling she was somehow near him, and that her steps were like her grandmother's, even her great-grandmother's, stopping every now and then to sing or read the hymn, humming the chorus, a strain of grief as she tied. I know a font where sins are washed away. I know a place where night is turned to day. Burdens are lifted, blind eyes made to see. The branches were tied, so she tore smaller strips and knotted what was left to tall grasses and bracken, slowly laying it out, frayed into the land, bending and swaying in the wind, hanging over the tops, knotting 3 times as she had been told, her fingers pricked from thorns and wet from passing rain, stooping. And the clouds opened, lifting the white, deepening the dark, while she leant in again and again, somehow with the rhythm of washing day, the tying, the hanging. Expand thy wings, celestial dove, brood over our nature's night. On our disordered spirits move, and let there now be light. Markers, she thought. Flags dreamt on. Her and Harold's sleep given to the fell, to the wind, their warmth spread like seeds, all will be well. God, through the Spirit we shall know, if thou within us shine, and sound with all thy saints below the depths of love divine. And as she walked back down, limping to protect her knees, she looked back to find the tree cupped sleep to the sky over a sweep of white knots and trailed cotton. Lazarus, she thought. Lazarus laid out on the fell. Hope in night, wounds healed, promise.